Hi everyone, it's Ari here. I'm gonna do story time for everyone in everywhere. Today I'm gonna read The Twins and Tabiffa by Constance, Heward, and Susan Beatrice Pearse. A very old book. I think it's from um 19, let me check if there is 1923. Oh really? Look at me, I have glasses but I can't see. I need to buy a new one. Wow, 1923. All right, see, The Twins and Tabiffa. Let's get started. Tabiffa was a big black cat with a coat like velvet, a beautiful tail, and handsome whiskers. She walked daintily like a princess. Yeah, Tabiffa and the twins. She belonged, wait a sec. Yeah, you can see Tabiffa here with the twins, walking like a princess. She belonged partly to Peter, who was 7 years old, a teen boy with red hair and freckles. See Peter. But mostly to Binkie and Dinkie. They were twins, 4 years old, with round red faces and black hair which looked in front as if it had been nibbled by a mouse. They were exactly alike, so to tell one from the other, Binkie's jersey and breeches were always brown and Dinkie's blue. So this is Dinkie's with the blue, and the red one is Binkie. Yeah, and remember the cat is belong to Peter. But the cat Tabiffa goes to the twins Binkie and Dinkie. Now, one day, a dreadful thing happened. Tabiffa disappeared, and Binkie and Dinkie cried and cried and cried till their cheeks got all big and puffy and nearly buried their eyes. Oh, Tabiffa disappeared. Oh, the twins cry and cry and cry. Mother petted them and loved them and said she would go and buy a new cat. But Binkie and Dinkie said that they wanted Tabiffa. See, Mom said, it's okay, we buy a new cat. But Binkie and Dinkie said, no, I want Tabiffa. I want Tabiffa, Mommy. Nurse said it was a good riddance, but because she didn't hold with cats in the nursery. What? Nurse said it was a good riddance because she didn't hold with cats in the nursery. Okay. Honestly, I don't understand. What is that mean? Okay, tell me. And father came in with his slipper. See? Father came in with a slipper and said if they didn't stop crying at once, he would spank them. Oh no! Can I read this book? No, Daddy, no spank. No, because it's an old book from 1920. So the I don't know. Oh. They stopped then, and Peter took them to search the house for Tabiffa. though he knew she wasn't in it because he had looked in every room and cupboard more than once that day. See, Peter looked in the cupboard. No, no, no. Where is Tabiffa? It's not in there. For a whole week, Tabiffa was lost, and Binkie and Dinkie began to look pale and thin with sorrow. Cry. The tree. Still cry. 1 week already. But one night, after the twins had cried themselves to sleep, Peter lay in his bed beside theirs and racked his brain for a plan to get Tabiffa back. See Peter here, sleep next to the twins. And while he lay there, something came in. And while he lay there, something came softly in through the half open door. It was Tabiffa. Oh, and in her mouth she carried a small black kitten. Oh! She sprang on to Binkie and Dinkie's bed, scraped a nice little nest at the foot of it in the eider down, and put the kitten gently in. Show you. See? Tabiffa came in with a kitten. Her mouth. Then she went away, looking fairly large and black and important, while Peter sat up in bed, hugging himself with excitement because he was sure she had gone to fetch more kittens. So Tabiffa carried the kitten one at a time, and he was right, for the fetch them for and he was right, for she fetched them one at a time in her mouth till there were 4 little soft black meow in the nest in the eider down. So black meow things. See, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 kittens. Meow, 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 meow. Look at that sleeping. See, it's like my cat sleeping together in the bed. Then Tabiffa curled herself up beside them, purring loudly, and Peter got out of bed and was just going to wake the twins when the cat still sleep there. So Peter got out of bed. Yeah, Peter got out of bed and was just going to wake the twins when Nurse came walking into the room. And when she saw Tabiffa and her kittens on the bed, she was so angry that she smacked Peter for being out of bed and scolded so hard that I'm not sure. Binkie and Dinkie woke up. She's come back, screamed Binkie. With some dear little babies, screamed Dinkie, and they knelt at the foot of the bed in their pajamas and kissed Tabiffa and never even heard Nurse calling. Oh boy. Lot of smacking in this book. But Father and Mother did, and they came up to see whatever could be happening. See? What happened up there? Binkie and Dinkie roused them and hugged them round their knees and begged and prayed that Tabiffa and the kittens might stay, while Peter tried to explain at the top of his voice how Tabiffa had brought them, and Nurse said she never knew such goings on. Please, Daddy, please, Mommy, I want Tabiffa and the kittens stay. The end of it was Then Tabiffa and the kittens were put into an old work basket with a piece of blanket in it on the floor beside the twins' bed, and everybody went to sleep full of happiness. In the basket, oh, yeah, oh. Except Nurse, and her face under her nightcap was enough to turn the milk sour if there had been any near enough. The nurse not happy with the cat. No. Now, in the very middle of the night, when the moon was peeping in at the window, Peter was awakened by something poking and patting his face. He was dreadfully frightened till he heard a loud, pitiful meow, meow, meow right in his ear, and he knew it was Tabiffa. Look at it. Meow. And as he tried to push her away, he smelled a curious smell which seemed to stick in his throat and make his eyes water. And he jumped out of bed and ran to Nurse and shouted in her ear that the house was on fire. Oh, see, Tabiffa waked him up. Then he ran to wake father and mother, and the children were bundled up in blankets and carried onto the lawn. The nurse's nightcap had come off and her curling pins were showing. They all came out. And Mrs. Moriarty, the cook, came running out holding her pet frying pan under her arm. Oh, her pet frying pan. Because she's the cook, so the pet is the frying pan. And me, I might bring my books. And Susan, the housemaid, came out in a mackintosh and bare feet, and her best Sunday hat in a green paper bag. See, everyone bring what they like. And they all stood and watched the smoke come curling out of the attic windows, and Tabiffa sat beside her basket with the kittens in it and watched. Oh, look, the house is on fire. Can you see? Yeah. House is on fire. Oh, it's sticky. Oh. And then the fire engine dashed wildly up, and the firemen ran up ladders and squirted great streams of water out of their hosepipes onto the fire. And it did not take very long to put it out. Look at the firemen back then. Are they sing horse? Yeah, they sing horsey. Oh goodness. But the children went to sleep in their blankets on the summer house floor with their feet in the middle like soldiers in a tent. Oh. They sleep together in there because the house is on fire. Tabiffa wears a beautiful red leather collar now with a silver plate on it, and on the plate is written, "I am Tabiffa, who saved the house from burning." Yay! Well done, Tabiffa. Thank you so much. Yeah. And Tabiffa, who saved the house from burning. Meow, meow. Ooh, oh. Her 4 kittens are getting dreadfully big, but they still sleep in the basket by Binkie and Dinkie's bed, though it is a tiny fit, and Tabiffa makes a little nest for herself at the foot of the bed in the eider down. See? What? See the collar? Is it? I'm Tabiffa. saved the house from burning. There you are. That's the story of the twins and Tabiffa by Constance, Heward, and Susan Beatrice Pearse. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you again in my next story time for everyone in every way. See ya.